make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind.
Hi, this is Mary and Megan from Mary's Stamping Happenings, and today is Tips and Techniques Tuesday, and we're going to be doing the technique called Smackin Acetate. And what we're going to be using today to do that is the stamp sets Bordering on Romance and Teeny Tiny Wishes. We're going to be needing cardstock, rose red, 8.5 by 5.5 inches, some Regal Rose, and we're going to be needing a 3 3/4 by 2 5/8, and also a scrap of Regal Rose. Whisper White, we're going to be needing a 3.5 by 2 3/8, and also a scrap. For ink, I'm going to be using Early Espresso in the classic ink, and then I'm going to be using some Stampin' markers. I'm going to be using Old Olive, I'm going to be using Primrose Petal, and I'm going to be using Pool Party. What we're also going to be needing is we're going to be using one of Stampin' Up's window sheets, and I cut this to about a 4 by 3 or 4.5 by 5.5 to cover the Whisper White that we're going to be using. We're also going to be using some Stampin Dimensionals and mini glue dots. We're going to be using the Scallop Oval and the large oval punch. And we're going to be using the Elegant Lines Impressions folder. We also need a spray bottle with some water. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the Smackin Acetate. And what that just is what you're going to do is you're just going to put some Stampin' markers on the acetate. And I'm going to do some green and some Pool Party, Old Olive, Pool Party. And I'm going to highlight it with a little Primrose Petal just to give it the sky a little color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to place that over my piece of Whisper White cardstock. Then I'm going to rub that down, and you can use a bone folder, you can use, like I'm using a piece of your, a stamp, a block, your fingers, whatever. And what you're going to do then is you get something just like this. Now the window sheet, all you have to do is run it in water or just have a damp cloth, and it cleans right up and you can use it over and over and over. Well, we're going to set this aside for a little bit so it can dry and flatten out. And while we're doing that, we're going to take our rose red cardstock and we're going to run it through the Big Shot in our Elegant Lines Impressions folder. And what you'll get is something that looks just like that. So now that this has dried, what you can do is I'm going to take the Bordering on Romance, and you can use any stamp. The Papillon Potpourri is also a really good stamp for there with the butterflies. So I'm going to just take this stamp and I'm going to stamp it a couple of times on that background. Just like that. And then with the glue dots, I'm taking the Regal Rose, and with the glue dots I'm going to mount our smacking acetate on that Regal Rose, just like that. Now you can do any size of the smacking acetate. I have had, I've got some cards that I did a large one on and some that I've done smaller ones on. And then we're just going to take some Stampin Dimensionals and we're going to attach the Regal Rose to the Rose Red, just like that. And then with our scrap, I'm going to take the Regal Rose or Primrose Petal, and I'm just going to do a thank you. And I'm going to punch that out with the large oval punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the marker and I'm going to go all around that side, just so it looks like it has a little more dimension when you mount it. Okay? And then with the other Regal Rose, I'm going to punch out, and then I'm going to mount the saying with glue dots onto the scalloped and then mount that with the Stampin Dimensionals onto the card. There you got the smacking acetate technique. Thanks for visiting. Happy stamping.